Hello ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching my video. This is my third time recording and hopefully I can keep it that way and that it's under 5 minutes. I went from 5 minutes to 6.5 or 5.5 minutes to 6.5 minutes, so hopefully I can cut this back down to 5 minutes. So, when you log on to school, my school, Central York, actually is with Schoology, so we have our own separate URL that kind of takes us here. When you log in, you'll have a home screen that'll have different updates on it. However, I just went right into one of my classes to show you how this works. In my classes, I have the bunch of our different units that we correlate to. You can add units by staying in your materials, add material, add your folder. When you add a folder, you can give it different color coordinations, meaning if I want my overarching unit to be this color, I can make my unit notes within it this one, unit quizzes, unit assignments, unit tests, whatever you want to say. You can also unpublish it, meaning that students will not be able to see it. Publish it on a certain date, so say you work ahead, but you know you won't start that unit for 2 weeks. Publish on the start date, add 2 weeks. During date range, give it a start and end time, meaning if it's a self-paced and you start on Monday and you need it completed by Sunday night, give it that range and it'll automatically unpublish at that time and students will not be able to open it or access it. So that's kind of some of the features in your materials aspect. Your updates is a way to communicate with the students. This message they will see on their home screen. They don't have to come into your class to see it. It will be popped up as soon as they open into Schoology. Something that I think is really cool, obviously I'm not going to go into my gradebook, but when you make assignments, just know that they automatically sync into your gradebook. What's cool is the mastery aspect. So you can assign learning objectives to the different quizzes, assignments, and that sort of stuff, which really helps see if the students are actually getting mastery. Somebody had asked me about assigning individual quizzes to students based on learning objectives. You can tie learning objectives to the quizzes and then individually assign them to that student, which I'll talk about in a moment. You can check the analytics, meaning average scores, that sort of stuff. Obviously I'm not going to go into that because this is one of my classes, or was rather. But one aspect I do want to touch on, which is really cool and super helpful, is the workload planning. If I go back to, say, March 7th, this week, I can say 2 or more items, okay? Well, 50% of my kids had 2 or more items on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, so maybe I might consider not giving them a lot of work those days because they're already going to be overwhelmed with other assignments. I can adjust this to say, all right, how many of you had 6 or more assignments? So this person had 1% or 3% rather, 1 out of 30 had 6 or more items due on Wednesday. I feel bad for that student. But they had a ton due on Sunday. Okay, so maybe I won't make my assignment due Sunday. Maybe I'll give them an extension. So I think this is really cool and helpful to use. Another aspect of it, the resource aspect of Schoology, you can add your own personal resources where you're the only person that will see them. And then you can also go to group resources. So our biology department, our science department, shared all of our resources that we find, that we use. We all share them into this folder so that we all have access to it, which is super helpful to a brand new teacher. My school district, high school, has shared resources as well. But going back to my course, let's see if it works without me having to, yes. If I look at the trial quiz, I can add the question. You have multiple choices to add the question. In your settings part, you can individually assign it. Submissions disabled, you can give it a time limit, attempts, resumable, meaning if a student leaves this page, they won't be able to resume it. If you're worried about them cheating, then don't make it resumable. You can also kind of publish it or keep it unpublished for a little bit. That is completely up to you whenever you want them to do it. You can add a different resource. You can add voice recordings to it. So there's a lot of cool aspects in order to do your quizzes. Going back into my materials, what you can do with it, obviously publish it, unpublish it, copy to a course. So if, say, my first period and second period are doing the exact same thing, I don't have to redo everything for second period. I can take this whole folder, copy it to a course, okay? And then it'll give me options, but obviously I don't have any of the courses up right now. Or I can save it to my resources. I can make it a completion folder as well, meaning I can make students go in chronological order, which is really good for self-paced units. Well, this is just a kind of overview of Schoology, so please let me know if you guys have any questions. And again, thank you for watching.